Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
This is my final maths-related interview.
What sort of villain gets that?
It's Australia's reaction.
It's an
This
exclusive.
is an exclusive. That's hitting the cutting room floor, bro.
Caused a lot of drama and it never got aired.
It just went nuts.
In Selina's words, yo, yo, yo.
What is up?
What's up, girl? How you doing?
Good. How are you going?
I'm feeling good. Listen, I can't help but comment. I wish these cameras could see how good you look right now.
Oh,
I don't know if you got a stylist or not,
stop.
but this ensemble is good.
Thank you.
This ensemble.
Well, I think when you're happy and you're in love,
Oh my
something
God.
looks different.
That's what's up. And we can see that. We can see that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We can definitely see that. It's a glow that comes with it.
Oh, thanks, guys.
For real, for real. Listen, for people that are listening right now, coming up soon, we've got Nate from Love Island.
Yes, we've wanted Nate from the start. We've been a huge fan of him, and we can't believe he's our first official guest.
I know,
for
man.
2024.
Can't wait, man. And we're recording on the best place out. We're recording on Gadigal Land. And hey, look, listen, before we actually get into, talking to Nate, I want to talk to you about maths because maths just started airing.
I know.
And
I'm counting
weddings
down the
have
days.
started airing, man. And I
Yep.
couldn't help but ask, how did you feel during this time?
You know what? There's so much about this whole process that people don't know about. So with my wedding, when I saw what was aired versus what I went through, it was so polar opposite. So my wedding, when they were showing the ads for it, it was like the most spectacular wedding of maths of all time. And I was like, what? Which one's this? And I was like, holy shit, it's my
you.
wedding. And it was shot at nighttime. We had drones. We had all these cameras set up. It was in this beautiful garden forest. There was lights, fairy lights everywhere.
God.
Anyway, I had to walk up and down this muddy, creaky garden to get to Cody. And I was in my wedding dress. We started getting ready in the morning. And I was waiting in the limo for hours. Then 12 hours had passed. And
12 hours?
yeah, me in my wedding dress. I hadn't eaten at this point. And then by the time I walked down the aisle, it was like midnight.
Oh,
So I was
my God.
delirious. I hadn't eaten. I was starving. It was quite cold that night as well.
Man, they ain't even giving you nothing to,
Nothing,
sip on the side.
man. Yeah. And then by the time we actually sat down and had dinner, and because we shot during COVID time, we didn't have a reception with our friends and family. Because I always get asked, are the people in the audience?
Do you know them?
Yeah.
Exactly,
Are they
yeah,
extras?
yeah.
No, they're our friends and family.
Okay.
And sometimes, depending on like what part of the experiment you come in, they are the other brides and grooms. Like
Right.
if you're an intruder,
Exactly,
we
yeah.
get to go to your wedding. Anyway, so we had no one. So it was just Cody and I and the
What
crew.
time is this? You said
And
it's
by
at
the
3
time
a.m.?
we sat down and ate, it was like 2, 3 in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
I hadn't eaten all day. So I had my first thing that sat in my stomach was a glass of champagne. So I was drunk.
Off to the races, bruv.
Yes.
Off to the races.
And I just cringed so hard watching that episode of my wedding.
Oh, my God.
Because they just
man.
made me look like a clingy weirdo that was a desperado.
Yeah. And then you can't also help but think, what if that was their plan? To
Yeah.
actually try and get you at a time where...
I was so vulnerable.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, like, I think for me, man, it's kind of crazy because they have this storyline, you know what I'm saying, that they
Yes.
have to make do. So,
Exactly. So when I first watched that episode, I was like, my gut and my heart just sunk. I was like, if this is my quote unquote edit, like I'm done for.
oh my God, man. Now, wait, hold on. I want to know, how many times did you walk down the aisle, though? How many times did they make you walk down?
I can't even count how many times. It was that many times.
my
And
God.
man, I've got bunions from 17 years of hairdressing and standing up. So me in stiletto heels on a muddy, rocky road, like walking up and down, hangry, sleep deprived, hadn't had any food. I was like, man, how many more times?
Now, like with that story, it's actually kind of crazy. I'm actually going to start looking at this show much more differently because I know that they've had to walk down the aisle so many times and this guy's having to do the same face 10, 15, 20 times. After like the 8th time, you can't get the same reaction from me.
Seriously.
Man, listen, guys. So, hey, we can't wait to talk about math soon. But today we've got
Yes.
Nate from Love Island. So let's get into it.
This is his first podcast ever. Is it
First
ever?
one.
First one, I've been on one, like, but like this is my first like real Love Island podcast. I'll say that.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Welcome, Nate.
Come on, boy.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Man, thrilled to have you in the studio, man. It's kind of interesting, hey, because I was
Yeah.
like, the first person that popped in mind when I was like, our first guest from this season has to be Nate.
We said that.
That's huge.
We
Yeah,
manifested-
man.
We manifested this.
Yeah, really. And it was funny because I bumped into Selina at Juggle Charlie's one day. Because I had actually seen this podcast before and I was like, that's something that I do.
Right.
100% something that I do. And then when I saw you and you're like, oh, we want to get you on the podcast, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, for sure.
Wait,
Give me
wait.
the time.
So tell me, so y'all met, I didn't know you.
Yeah,
you fuck
so
with that chicken shop.
random. Bro, I'm Asian. I love
she goes
chicken,
to
man.
eat
Yeah, I know you. You know what I'm saying, my
I
brother?
was
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know me, I was there.
You know what I'm saying?
They got a
It's an
vegetarian option.
ethnic thing.
Must be,
This
huh?
chicken shop is iconic.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's so good, right?
It's so good.
Wait,
I
which
love
one is it again?
What's it
Charcoal
called?
Charlie's.
Charcoal
Charcoal
Charlie's.
Charlie's.
Yeah,
In
Charcoal
Neutral
Charlie's.
Bay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I only fuck
So
with Frangos over here.
Yeah, no, Frango's is good.
Yeah.
You
Frango's
won't
is
find a
way
Frango's in the North
Yeah.
Shore, though.
Yeah, exactly.
gotta-
So
you
this is
gotta
like the next
expand out.
best thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, who's this hot chocolate man that just walked in?
Yo.
And I was like, act
That was
cool.
me.
And I looked up, I was like, holy shit, it's Nate from Love Island.
That's dope, man.
And I did that cringy thing. I was like, hey, excuse me, are you Nate from Love Island?
Oh, you do that shit.
Full
And
on.
then his face, I don't know if I caught you at a wrong time or I was like, fuck,
No,
like,
I was just with my friends, I think.
Are you
yeah,
filling it
yeah.
up?
No, it was fine.
How do you feel when people come up to you? Do you get it often?
No, I mean, like, if there's differences. Like, if people come up to me like really nicely,
Yep.
like I understand. Like the funny thing is when people come up to me and they're really excited, like I'm kind of surprised by how excited they are actually
Yeah.
to meet me. And you know, I
Yeah.
treat it really well. Like if they're really nice, ask for a photo or whatever, ask them
Yeah.
questions. I'm more than happy to answer them because like to them that's their one experience with me.
100%.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't mind that. The thing that gets me sometimes is I've been out and you just see people from like 10 meters away just pull out their phones and
Doing
just,
these
like,
ones.
just do these
No,
ones.
I hate that,
And I'm like,
yes.
just come up to me.
Just, yeah,
you know?
we'd rather you come
It's not
up
a
and say
zoo.
hi.
It's not a zoo. You know, you come up and say, hey, I'm not gonna fucking bite you or whatever.
So true.
Like, yeah. So, but I definitely don't mind if people come up to me. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I feel like, you know, they feel like they know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, and to them, like, it's kind of weird because they're like, oh my God, this guy was just on my screen. Now he's right in front of me.
Yeah.
How do I act? And they completely lose
They lose
social
their mind.
etiquette.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah,
goes out the room, man.
100%.
You know?
100%.
But like,
Yeah.
you managing?
Yeah, managing fine. Managing
Yeah.
fine. There's some places that you definitely like can't go as much.
Really?
Yes.
Like Bondi, Manly, those two places.
that's what's up. That's
far
a
out.
hotspot.
Sometimes you can't even order a
Yeah.
drink. You know.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Line up for photos, but that was like during the heat of the show.
Yeah, yes.
It's definitely
Yeah.
settled down now. But I mean, also I
Yeah.
haven't gone to those places for a while. So
Exactly. Okay.
You know, I wouldn't know.
That's what's up, man.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I know you can relate to this. And we spoke
Yeah.
to Josh Moss, which was on season 1 of Love Island, about this. I, as a female, was shooketh when none of the girls picked you
In the first
in the
day.
first lineup. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with everyone? Everyone needs to go to fucking Specsavers, all right? I don't know. But how did you feel not being anyone's first pick?
Oh, honestly, the first thing on my mind was like, fuck, my friends are going to give me a hard time about this as soon as I get back.
Oh my
I
God.
was
you
like,
said.
especially if I like didn't get picked at all. Like,
Yeah.
luckily Nakia, you know, gave me that little pity pick at the end. But like, yeah, that's the first thing going through my head, and then I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe like I'm not all that, but. At the end of the day, like once that happened, I like made like a huge effort to be
Yeah.
like, once they know my personality, I'm gonna make them like, you know, want to get
Yeah.
to know me.
That's right,
So
man.
I was
Yeah.
like, I just got to show my personality as much. If they're not
Yeah.
in for the looks, like that,
Exactly.
it doesn't really hurt my ego too much,
Yeah.
to be honest.
True. True.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That shit really kind of bruises the ego a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because like the thing is for me, like I remember like even for mine, like I think only one person stepped forward and it was Ari.
Yes.
And she was cool too. But then she kept stepping forward for everybody else. So I was like,
really?
you might as well have just left me. I'll go on the subs bench. But it's like actually, it's kind of daunting though, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're kind of putting yourself on a chopping block
Yeah.
and it's like, but then again, I'd kind of rather it be the guys though. I don't know why.
As in the guys,
be picked.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like how it was this season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
That did save like a lot of stress.
Yes.
Like once they switched that around for us, I was like, oh, this could be pretty good.
Yeah,
But then
so
it also like
true.
it's, you know, you gotta think like who you actually want to step forward
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
That's
You know?
true.
I only
That's
stepped
true.
forward
That's
for
true.
2 people.
Yeah,
And then
come
after
on.
that, I was like, no.
Yeah,
they
no,
picked me.
but you can't do that too much.
Nah, exactly.
You're gonna lose the credit.
Yeah, exactly. Once I did my second one, she didn't pick me. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay here until someone picks me.
Yeah.
So tell me, did you apply or did you get scouted?
I got scouted for it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I actually really didn't see Love Island before
Oh, really?
I went on.
At all?
I saw one season UK with Tom Fury
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
with my ex, like 5 whenever that season was
Yeah.
out, and then since then I haven't actually seen it.
Wow.
And so yeah, the like Love Island messaged my Instagram.
Oh.
It was funny at first. I saw the message. I was like, "Nah, this is
A joke?
just some automated message
Yeah.
sending out, trying to get as many
Yeah,
people
yeah.
applying for it."
Yeah.
So I didn't even really reply to it. And then they sent me another one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, okay. Let's see the application process." Clicked on that, and like you'd know, like you got to fill out like 4 pages of some documents and
Yeah.
do like a video and stuff. I remember it was a busy day, so I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Like this isn't for me. Like I'm
Yeah.
just not gonna do it." But then they ended up messaging me like 3 weeks later again, trying for a phone
They're just
call.
hounding you, bro.
Yeah,
You're the
and
person
then
for the
at
job,
that
bro.
point, at that point, I was like, oh, like they're obviously like showing a lot of interest. Like, why not? So
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
kind of went
that's
through it, and then
crazy.
as soon as I went in for that first interview, they make you feel good. That's for sure.
Yeah,
They make you feel
man.
fucking really good. So
Wait, did
Yeah.
you go through like the 3-step one as well too, where like I think it's like the first little room, and then you go and meet the execs, right?
yeah, well, actually, no, I went. Yeah, the first little room. Yeah,
Yeah.
downstairs. You just have a quick chat. I wonder if they just send you home if it's not a good chat.
I think so.
Yeah,
reckon?
for
Yeah.
sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm
yeah.
lucky to those people. But
For real, man. I mean, like for them to be hounding you like that.
exactly. But then then we went upstairs, and then there's the producers upstairs, and like that was good. That was one of the best, like most fun interviews I've ever had.
That's
Yeah.
dope,
Just
man.
just asking about your life.
That's
yeah,
what's
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a random question. So when I was watching this particular scene, I was just like, it was like a dagger to the heart. So you picked Tia
Yeah.
over Kira.
Yeah.
This was like early on in the season. And she just seemed so ungrateful. She went upstairs there's an area where all the girls get ready.
Yeah.
And she was just like kind of impersonating you,
Yeah.
trying to make it sound like you had this like savior complex.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh, he might as well have picked Kira. Like, I don't even know why I'm here. You know? Like, after watching that scene, like, how did you feel?
I was so shook when I saw that scene back.
Yeah.
And saw how pretty much how she perceived me to be at that time.
Yes.
I was like watching this, I was like just so confused at that time.
Yeah.
Honestly, just being like, at no point was I like, oh, give me a pat on the
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
did this. Like I was actually going through like pretty stressful moment. Like you know how it is in there. It's like pretty messed emotionally.
Yeah.
And the big thing that was going through my head was like, do I pick someone who asked me how my day was that day, or I pick someone that
Yeah.
hasn't barely even spoken to me this day, but
Yeah.
I also have had some
A
sort of connection with.
Yeah.
So it was a stressful moment, and then
It
I made a
was.
like last minute switch of mind decision when I
Yeah.
was standing up there.
Yeah.
All the boys were kind of like, I hope this does you well and all this stuff. But
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
came back and
yeah.
it came back and just bit me in my ass real
Yeah.
hard that
So,
night.
in hindsight, do you think she would have picked Kira then?
Huge regret not picking Kira. I'm not gonna
Really,
lie.
yeah. Oh, boy, I bet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like Trent tried to warn you too, right?
Yeah, well, Trent, all the boys before the recoupling was, and even me, we were saying that I should pick Kira.
Yeah.
And that was my decision as
Yeah.
well. Like, I was like, I'm going to pick Kira.
Yeah.
But then when I sort of stood up there, I just changed my mind last second, just sort of went with my gut in that brief second.
Yeah.
And like Trent warned me, all the other boys warned me, but the good thing
Yeah.
is they all had my back, like kind of when it
That's
backfired on me.
good.
But definitely wish I picked Kira. Like, I'm not going to lie, my next like 2 days in that villa was like the worst days of my whole time in there.
Man, I bet.
Just
How
felt so
awkward.
uncomfortable.
You probably wanted to leave, huh?
Oh, so bad.
Yeah, but you also have to share a bed with that person too, you know?
Yeah, but we didn't share a bed.
Oh,
She
yeah.
slept
You
down
went
on the
on a
day
day
bed.
bed?
She
Yes.
slept down on the day bed. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It was,
crazy.
it was
hey?
funny. Nikia asked me, when are you going to sleep out on the day bed? I was like, why do I have to sleep on the day bed? Why would I have to go out there? But she doesn't want to be with me, man. I'm going to stay in this big ass comfy bed.
Yeah, with aircon.
I've got no problem if she sleeps next to me
Yeah.
anyways. Like, if she doesn't want to
Yeah.
sleep next to me in this bed, she can go out on the day
Yeah.
bed. But, yeah, like,
Man, you really sent a girl out there, man, innit?
I didn't say-
Mosquitoes
she
and
went out on
everything.
her own
She
accord.
made her own choice.
Oh, sorry, my
But
bad.
was like, people bang on about the edit because I was very confused with Tia. Like, first I liked her, like her backstory was cool, like she's quite intelligent,
She's very smart. Yeah.
stunning.
Yeah,
like
super
I'm
smart.
pretty sure every guy stepped forward for
Yeah.
her, right?
100%.
And then I don't know, something shifted.
I don't know. So
You know?
I think it was just the environment that we were in.
Yeah.
I obviously can't speak for Tia, but I
Yeah.
think that it just affected us differently. We weren't really expecting it. She was kind of in the same situation as me where she hasn't really seen the show.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
not sure if she was just ready for that intense moments.
Yep.
Like continuously, like when we sort of had our falling out,
Mm-hmm.
was like she just felt kind of overwhelmed by the whole situation
Yep.
and by
Mm-hmm.
me as well.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was like going up to her too much, trying to hang out with her too much, and I was like, "Where the fuck do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Like, I can't
Yeah,
go
yeah, for real,
anywhere
for real.
else. Like I literally can't leave anywhere else."
Yeah.
And I thought I'd give her some space, give her some
Yeah.
time to sort of, get used to it, but it just
Yep.
didn't really work out. But I think that she just wasn't really ready for that whole intense experience of, finding
Pressure
love.
cooker, man.
So
For real. I feel like the craziest bit about your story
Yeah.
was when you called out Zach for his bullshit.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
The
That-
snake in the
At
grass.
the
The
beginning.
snake in the grass.
Yeah.
That was ballsy as a motherfucker because
Yeah.
no many people want to do that because it's like you're so scared of how you're gonna get portrayed, and
course.
it's turned out wrong. Like it's turned out completely bad for like some other cast members like in previous
Absolutely.
seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like props to you, man. Like that was big. You know, like being
Yeah.
able to actually stand up for yourself
Your
in
morals,
that situation,
your
morals.
values, yeah.
100%. Because I feel like morality is slowly dying, not only in society, and yet alone if you go on a TV show, people change like a motherfucker.
100%.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Tell me
100%.
about that moment, man, because that would have really tested you, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, that moment was like 4 days into the villa.
Yep.
Essentially, like Lucinda and I were coupled up.
Yes.
I knew that Zach was going for Lucinda, and he even told me in person that he was going to make moves for her. And I
Yep.
was like, dude, absolutely go for it, man. If she picks
Yeah.
you, she picks you.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Yep.
We're two kind of different people. So, like, it's not
Yeah.
like it's going to be that hard of a decision.
Yep.
So, but essentially what had happened was I see Zach and Lucinda come down, and I was talking to Sav, and I was like, I'm gonna pull Lucinda for a chat, little bit of a power play on this one. Pull her for a chat. Now this part didn't really get aired. When Lucinda told me that she got with Zach, the way she told me was I sat down and I was like, how's your day? Blah, blah. She's like, yeah, it's good. She's like, guess what just happened? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, guess what just happened? And I was like, I'm not, what do you mean? I have no idea what to guess right now. I'm just asked you how your day was. And she's
Yeah.
like, no, guess. And I was like, I was starting getting a bit annoyed. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to guess. Just tell me what happened. And she's like, Zach and I just kissed. And then I was like, that was the last thing I would have guessed to have happened. And even from just her telling me it in that type of way, immediately was like, Lucinda, out. Like, I don't care. I told her straight to her face, I'm like, look, you told me yesterday that you want someone who's 100% for you.
Yeah.
You've shown that you're obviously not 100% for me.
Yep.
You're just going against your own morals. It's nothing I want to be a part of. And we sort of just split it off there. And I told her that straight to her face. None of that was aired. Even the part where she just immaturely told me, none of that was aired. So she ended up like leaving, and then I pulled Ollie for a chat because Ollie was my guy around that time.
Yeah.
Sat down, and like obviously she told me that Zach said that I was more into Tia than Lucinda, which was incorrect at that time because Tia was very much with Trent all
Yes.
over him.
Yep.
You know? So I asked Ollie, I was like, firstly, let me just figure this out. Do you think I'm more into Tia or Lucinda? And he said Lucinda, which
Yeah.
is what I've been telling everyone.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet, okay.
Yep.
I know that I'm in the right with this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull Zach for a chat. And I'm always down just to have a proper chat with a guy
Yes.
at any time.
Man to
Like, I feel
man.
like I can hold my own anyways.
Yes.
And I'm not going to do it in front of everyone. I'm going to pull him off to the side.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're just going to talk man to man where you can't, have his
Yeah.
boys having his back or whatever.
Yes.
End up having that chat. And I'll tell you what, by the end of that chat, I don't know, I was so happy. Some of
Yeah.
the shit that he said, I was like, I can't believe you just said this.
But he incriminated himself, bro.
He did it to himself.
How do you say, I guess, I expect that from my friend group anyway, so I guess I'm a snake in the grass.
Yeah.
What the? What?
I was
I'm like, so
shocked.
we're wearing a mic, man.
Yeah.
I would have been like this. What did you say?
Yeah, I was
bro?
like, no.
Say this shit again.
Say that.
But you know what, though? I think like the craziest thing about that whole situation was just afterwards. Because right afterwards, he went over to his boys, Trent.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Damn, I forgot who it was. But anyway, he and he was like to Trent, he said, hey guys, like, did you think I did, the wrong thing? And this was when I was like, us as guys, we need to do better. When we see shit like that
100%.
Yes.
happening, we need to cancel that shit. Because you know what Trent said? He said, nah, but you didn't do
I
anything
know.
wrong.
Yeah.
He said that, nah, you
course he
playing
goes to
chess,
that.
not checkers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
of course.
if you want something, you really have to
Yeah.
go out there and slag somebody down so that you can have the upper hand.
Yes.
To them, that's
Yeah.
normal to them. I really didn't fuck with that.
Nah, neither did I.
Yeah.
That was the worst part, I feel like, of that whole interaction.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
the boys' approval, man. Oh my
Yeah,
I
god.
was
the boys.
shocked.
Yeah, like I'd be one to tell my friend, like, dude, you probably could have done taken a much better approach at this.
Yeah.
Trying to get the girl. I even told Zach, like, I was sitting across from him. I was like, dude, I don't know why you just don't just tell her how you feel,
yeah.
and like show her why she
Yeah.
should, like, you know, be with you rather than
Yeah.
being like, oh yeah, no, I don't think Nate likes you that much.
Exactly,
Like,
man.
what's that got to really do with anything between you?
Yes.
And like, I mean, I don't know.
To
They're
throw
made for
someone
each
else
other.
under the bus to get on top.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
That shit
But
ain't
do you
right.
think people just get caught up in the game?
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like Zach continuously said in that conversation that like he was so surprised by my reactions. Like, dude, this is Love Island. Like, this is what it is. It's a game, and
Yeah.
like I've only known you for like 4 days, and I was like, dude, I'm just another fucking human on
Yes.
this show.
Exactly right, man.
Yeah.
This isn't Love Island.
Yes.
We are two dudes.
Yeah.
You're disrespecting me.
Yeah.
It's not about a game. It's not because we come into this villa that you can just disrespect another person.
Exactly.
I didn't get that. And
Yes.
you know, he's a big part of this. You know, he coming on the show.
Yeah, he wants
Big
to be
Yeah.
a
game
big
show,
top-
wants to
yeah, the
obviously
top
wants
dog.
to show out, you know, be a big character on the show.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't about it, you know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's what's
I
up.
think that was the thing for me because I'm a lot older. Like watching this season, that's what infuriated me. There was this whole attitude of like, yeah, well, I'm here to find love. So that doesn't
Yeah.
mean you need to go and disrespect
Exactly.
people,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
against your morals, treat people like shit,
No.
disrespect people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it seemed to be a thing.
Yeah, right.
Seemed to be a thing. There was a lot of drama. I wasn't
so
keeping up with it.
much.
But hey, man, like, you know, this is the craziest thing though. When they you know, be casting us, they know what our personality is like. You know,
Yeah.
it's actually like the only time that I actually started to respect the graft that goes into
Yeah.
these shows.
Yeah, true.
Because you know how many personality tests we get?
Oh, so many.
You know what I mean? We get so many of
So
those
many.
so that they make sure that your personality and some other motherfucker's personality is going to clash.
Clash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For
they
sure.
make good shit.
Yeah, they knew what they're doing.
So they make
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, big time.
And there was another thing too, man. Like I think another iconic moment was when we almost lost you. You know?
Yeah.
So you were about to go, and it was between you and Ben, right?
Yeah.
So they were the two only single guys that were left. So
Yeah.
Nate and Ben were the only two single guys in the villa, and one of them had to go home. And I was like, how are they gonna do this? Is everybody gonna vote? What's
yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
Yeah.
And then you just start to hear some stilettos coming in. You see curly hair, black dress.
Yup.
It's
Yes.
Georgia, man. Tell
Yup.
me about that moment.
So the funny thing is, when I was up on the steps, like I'll tell you what, if you're up on those steps, your heart is beating like 1,000 miles an
Yeah.
hour, whether you know you're about to be picked or not. Like it's so nerve wracking. At the moment where it was just Ben and I left up there, I had like a moment of calmness. And when Sophie said that one of us was going home, I was very much in my own head, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be me. And
Yep.
if it's up to us, if it's up to the people in here, I'm just gonna say, guys, send me home. I've
Really?
got nothing
Yeah,
here
yeah.
for me. Ben has Tyra, who he can still fight for. I've got nothing here for me. And I was about happy to go home.
Really?
Until Georgia came in.
Yes.
When Georgia came in, I was like, there's another reason that I can stay right here.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So,
So
you
she
know,
had to pick one of y'all.
she had to pick one, and we did the 5-minute like
5-minute
speed date
Yes.
thing. And you know, I was also like not really nervous for that. I was like kind of like, you know, what have I got to lose? I'm just gonna go up,
Yeah.
see if our personalities match.
Yep.
And then they did, and when she picked me, like, look, I was a pretty happy
Over the
man. I was
moon.
definitely happy I didn't go
Yeah.
home that night. But seeing Georgia come in, I was immediately like starstruck. I was like, damn.
I know. I
Both
could see on
Ben and I
your
were
face.
like,
you were
fuck.
so happy.
I was like, she's
Yeah,
so
right up
fine.
your alley, huh?
Yeah,
Come on.
absolutely.
Yeah,
so fun.
because you were having such a tough time before
Yeah,
then.
absolutely.
You know, you could see you were really trying. And when she walked in, the sparkle came back in your eyes, and you were
100%.
smiling again. You were in your element.
Yeah.
But then she decided to choose Trent.
It didn't last long.
I was so confused. Can someone tell me what this whole aura of Trent is? Because
It's the mullet, cause
is it the
It's
mullet?
So when she first came in, like she told me her type is typically like mullet, white guy, Aussie accent, you know,
Okay.
opposite of me.
Yeah.
And so like Trent had that. And
Yeah.
then the other thing is obviously like when someone new comes in, like people can just start acting whatever type of way they want.
Yeah, true.
Because they don't know your personality
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, Trent was like trying to rizz her up, trying to, you know, make it sound
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, life on the outside is going to be really nice and stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm-
man. He was
Make it
really
sound,
busy.
yeah, he was trying to
Make that
say,
shit sound nice.
I
Is
was
he
like,
cashed up or something?
he's cashed up. He is cashed up.
Because I'm like, what is
like,
it
oh,
about him
makes a
that
lot.
all the girls are drawn to him? Tia went for him.
Yeah, at the
Everybody went
beginning,
on.
hey, but they just
Sav.
like the Australian look. You know, he's got that mullet. He's not a bad looking guy at all. So you know,
He's a good looking guy, not my typical, type of guy I'd go for. But it was just weird that all the girls were like, wow, Trent.
yeah, I know. It
I didn't get
surprised
it. I
me
didn't
as
get
well.
it. Yeah.
They like what they like
Surprised me
over
as
here,
well.
man.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was even asking George. I was like, "What is it about?"
I remember when you asked that.
I was
Man,
like,
my heart
"What
broke, man.
is it?"
Yeah. But
Like,
you know
what
when
is it?
they slept
I
out
fully
in the
thought I had
day
it.
bed?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that
Yeah.
morning scene when she woke
She's
up.
like, and she went straight to you. I was like,
"Oh fuck."
yes, go where you belong, baby.
Fuck, I was happy. That was so funny.
yeah, but
The crazy goes, you had just woken up.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
you were like,
Just woken
what
up.
is going on?
yes.
And I love his voice. It's like, hey, so what? You just
She's like, "You want to chat right now?" I was like, "What, right now?"
right there.
But I was literally like, it was so funny. I woke up that morning just like, kind of like, what's my game plan today? Like, there's
Yeah.
2 girls I haven't really spoken to.
Yep.
Maybe I'll just go see how they goes with them, have a chat to them. And before I could
Yeah.
even think another second,
You feel the sheets pop up.
yeah, George
God.
is going chat to Nikhil. I see them like chatting. I'm like, oh my, what is this? And then she's like, we need to have a chat. I was like, what, right now?
Oh.
But I couldn't help but feel pretty good about
Of
that.
course.
That's what's up,
Yes.
man. Why not? Why not?
But I still wonder what happened in that moment because she got up
too.
and I don't know if they cut that scene down to like smithereens. I don't know. It just looked weird. She was just like, she got up and
Yeah.
she was like, I don't know, something feels off.
Yeah. Oh no. So Georgia runs a lot of emotions and
Yeah,
feelings.
I feel
So
that.
in that moment, if she's feeling some type of way, like she's
Yeah.
very much going to run off that, and she's going
Yeah.
to make actions based off that, which I like about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that she came straight to me,
Yes.
didn't even waste another second. Like I was like, I like this. This is what I want.
Yeah,
Someone that's
true.
It's real
upfront
nice,
with their
man.
feelings and stuff.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that she had to have go slept in a day bed with Trent
Yeah.
to figure it out.
Yep.
And that's why it doesn't show it, but like I wasn't fully back for a while. Like I made it didn't show it, but like I was like, you're gonna have to work for this.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
made,
yeah,
she
yeah.
made me breakfast.
Oh.
She did a little like pamper session in the
so
ladies'
sweet.
room.
Come on
Doesn't show it, but I was like, you gotta work. You gotta
Yeah,
work.
of
That's what's up.
But and she
that's,
did.
That's what we didn't see. Because, like for me, I was like, I don't know how I'd feel, my man. Like I'm sorry. I really got to
Yeah.
scratch my bold ass head right now for this because for me, right,
It's one
I
of
would
those.
feel some type of way, right, if my
100%.
girl then said, look, this ain't really what I'm about.
Yeah.
Let me go over and taste what that soup
Yeah,
tastes
yes.
like so I can come back and see if this recipe's right.
Yeah.
So like for me, like I was like, fuck man, he just took it like that.
Yeah.
But that's nice that.
So
Yes.
it doesn't show. It makes it look like I was
Yeah.
pretty much back straight away.
Yeah.
No. So I told her I was like, first of all, you need to sort this shit out with Trent before we even do anything. She sorted it out with Trent. And she even said, during that time, I understand if you don't want to take me back because of what I've done.
Wow.
And she said, if you don't want me back, then I don't even want to be here type thing.
Yeah.
So, that also was like, all right, well, she's really putting, a lot of stuff
Yeah.
into me right
Yeah.
now. So, I mean, we definitely took, about a day to really get back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean... It really, I made up my mind pretty quick after that.
That's
as
what's
well.
up,
Yeah.
Sean.
I mean,
Come on.
she's a gorgeous girl.
Absolutely.
Done
And
real,
she's
very
Sydney
beautiful.
based, isn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
Do you guys catch up still?
We do.
Yeah. Oh.
Look at his face.
No.
You still
Nah.
seeing Georgia?
What do you mean, visually?
God, what the fuck you think that means, boy?
Is it still 1 or 2 days or the week or, because she was making such a big deal about that.
The one, that was just blown out of proportion because
Yeah.
it was the only thing that was really a disagreement between us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I talk about that part?
Yes, I wanna
So
know.
I mean, I just felt I know that Georgia, when she really likes a guy, she wants to see
Yeah.
him a lot.
Okay.
Knowing my lifestyle right now,
Yes.
I'm pretty busy. Today I
Yeah.
finished at 8:30. I started at 5:45.
Okay.
That, and there's
Yeah.
nothing more that I want to do than go
Yeah.
home,
Of course.
sit on the couch, and then go to sleep.
Exactly.
And then I'm up tomorrow at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
again. You know,
Yeah.
and then I've got another big day tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's actually my birthday tomorrow. And then, Thank you. But yeah, so I just know my busy schedule, and I felt
Yeah.
bad sort of giving her the idea that she'd be able to see me all the time when I come back. I was like, it'll be this around this amount of times. And keep in mind as well, she's only been in the villa for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then really coupled up with me for maybe a week. Imagine seeing someone for maybe a week and then saying, "Oh, I want to see you all the time."
yeah,
So
yeah.
but to the people like, you know, watching it, they're like, oh, she's been in the villa for 4 weeks of screen time.
Yeah.
4 weeks of like TV show time.
Yeah.
You know, Nate should be fully like in love or whatever.
Yeah.
The difference is like we just had this discussion. We sorted it out so well. We
Yeah.
were like easily like we spoke about it. We squashed it easy.
Yeah.
The only thing was is that we didn't tell everyone else in the villa that we squashed it because I didn't feel it necessary. So that's why I feel like we were
Yeah.
voted out. Least compatible because
of that.
because they thought that we were still like kind of like, you know, like, oh, we're on different pages or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
we actually finished that really fast, and the way that it looked on TV was we were like both like, it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really wasn't
That's
that
what
bad
it
at
all
all.
seemed
Like
like, huh?
it's such a dumb thing to even argue about, like how many days and stuff. Like we just
Yeah,
had this
yeah, yeah.
discussion. You know, we didn't like how it went, and then
Yeah.
we took some time to ourselves, like an hour, and then
Yeah.
we're back together.
Absolutely.
Wow,
man.
yeah, they did not make it seem like that. They made poor Georgia look like a clingy, you know, like one
Yeah,
of those
I
clingy
know,
girlfriends.
yeah,
Like,
they really
I want to
did.
see you every day.
I know.
She probably wasn't
They did.
saying that.
Yeah, she was saying that she'd want to see me every day,
Yeah.
but obviously knowing that we wouldn't see each other every day.
Yeah.
But that's just how she feels. She wants to see someone a lot, and
Yeah.
it's very fair.
And based
from
on
her
her
side.
previous relationship, like he apparently always made her feel like not
Absolutely.
a priority,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And the other thing was, it wasn't until she actually explained that to me, that's why her reaction was that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I could actually understand where she was coming from.
Yeah.
And then we made moves to better that.
Yeah.
But before that, you know, I didn't know. She didn't know that she wasn't like she didn't know that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, but in regards to now, like, yeah, Georgia, like, when we came back from the show, like, we definitely like to sort of fit right back into life.
Yeah.
Sort of seeing how things go.
Yeah.
The hard thing was, I think that it's just not like a normal relationship where you just like meet someone, you go on a few dates and you see how it goes. Like when we first come back, like we're not even really allowed in public together. Like we can't go to a restaurant together or whatever.
Yeah.
And
That's
like
true.
there's none of that hype. And then obviously once she's on the show, like there's the added public pressure, the pressure from the public just to sort of make it work. People are like, we love these guys, like all this stuff, and people are making fan pages for us and like
crazy
edit
is that,
videos.
right?
TikTok,
It's
yeah.
insane. And
Yeah.
we're both like obviously like kind of like enjoying it a bit, but then at the end of the day, like it comes down just to like us two. It's like how are we feeling in the moment? And I think the one thing that kind of got us when we came off that, we just treated this relationship like a Love Island relationship, consistently. Like, how you feeling today? Like, has anything changed? Like where's your head at? You know,
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
questions, and we just
Oh
have
my
those
God.
serious chats nonstop. And it kind of just got to us because if our head wasn't in the same place, we'd just be like,
Yeah.
like, why am I thinking this way? Oh,
Yeah.
this person really wants us to date, like, but like this is happening, and I just don't know how to feel right now. It just kind of got super overwhelming.
Yeah.
Hence to why we sort of took a bit of a break.
Okay.
And then we just kind of like called, like, essentially just like call things off on a very like mutual basis.
Yeah.
And but then once like we sort of called things off, and then the public knew, everyone was like saying stuff like people were going at Georgia saying like Georgia's immature, too immature for Nate. Nate didn't come on the show for the right reason. All this stuff. I'm like, these people have no clue what we
Yeah.
are.
Exactly,
They have
man.
no clue
Yeah.
how we've been around each other, why we came to the decision, how we've been, all this type of
Yeah.
stuff. So we wanted to kind of show that we were still friends.
Yeah.
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 So we like, you know, we met up, made a TikTok.
Yeah, I
TikToks,
saw all your
yeah,
TikToks.
bro,
Yeah,
that was
TikTok
funny.
was funny, you know, like
Yeah.
show that we still have like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I can't lie, like at the end of the day, no matter how hard that you want to like kind of, you know, enjoy your own time around this period, like you have a connection to this person that you've been on Love Island with, and something that you just can't match with
So
anyone
true.
else.
That's true, brother.
Yeah.
You can't
Absolutely
match that
right.
with anyone else.
Yeah.
And we both feel that connection still.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're just, you know,
Yeah, okay. Oh, no,
That's
no, no. Don't worry. It's okay. What's understood doesn't need to be
Understood.
said.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
You know
saw
what
that.
I'm
I saw that. It's okay.
We get you.
So we've got a game that we usually play, right?
Yeah.
That's called That's
That's
Dicey. So that was, hey, girl.
That's nice.
Hey, yo, some shit.
yeah, first one back.
So
Oh, here we
we're
go.
going to give you some red dice.
Yeah.
And you're going to roll the dice, and according to what number that is, we're going to ask you a
that
question.
question.
Yeah.
Okay. Bit ASMR.
Yeah, come on. Blowing that shit.
10.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay, I like this question. Can I ask this one?
Go ahead.
Who do you think is the biggest clout chaser from your season?
And you already know too, huh?
He knows.
The biggest clout chaser from the season.
You can say it.
Oh no, I'm like torn between two right now.
You can
say
say both
both
of
and then
them.
break it
Yeah.
down.
All right,
Yeah.
it's good because it actually makes more sense. I'll say Zach and Lucinda.
Whoa.
I just think that when they came on, they love the drama.
Yeah.
They know that's what gets likes. They've studied the show. They've been on the show.
Yep.
I think that just the way that some of them acted, just knew that they would get mad screen time from it. And that the fact that, you know, I'm not going to say anything. I respect every relationship. I reckon that they're great for each other. But I think that they're just also just kind of pushing that narrative
Yeah.
for the clout. My own opinion, pushing it for the clout. The way that Lucinda came in and sort of stirred shit up straight away.
Yeah.
Me and Ollie were consistently to her face. None of this is shown. We were like, you know exactly what you're doing. You came in and caused drama, and you're here for a game. We believe
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And this and that. Look, by the end of the show, look, I was fully in belief that they do really like each other. They do love each other. Blah blah.
Yeah.
So like, I think that they did also find that right reason.
Yeah.
But I think that's why, by the way they acted on the show, they were definitely looking to come out of it.
Yeah.
Being
But
a
how
big
many?
name.
She had a massive following anyway from the UK.
Yeah.
So do you think someone like that would be still clout chasing?
It's. I mean, like, I guess would clout just be like you just want to get more famous,
Or stay relevant?
stay relevant?
Hey,
Either way,
both.
she came on the show and she made
she did
sure
both.
that she was a big character. You ever notice, like, I don't want to talk too much shit, but
We like shit.
like when, for instance, someone read our text,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like shocking, you know.
Yeah.
Some people would be like, oh. You know,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. Not only that, but it would be like, someone didn't read out the text that properly. So they got to say it one more time.
Yeah.
They say it one more time and Lucinda, oh my, what? And always shocked so hard. I'm like, what? Obviously you expect something's going to be a decent surprise. She's like, always like, what the hell is happening? Like, as if we're not on Love Island right now, where this producer's making shit for us, But she knows what she's doing. Like, she's gonna get that screen time from that
Yeah.
reaction.
Okay, that makes sense.
No offense, Lucinda, you're great at it, but
You
got
wanted
your
to
screen
say
time.
this for a long time, my
Yeah,
G.
for real. I've been sitting there sometimes and I'm just like, again? Like, you heard it. You just heard what the text was. And fair enough, I didn't get my reaction never made it because I was always just kind of like looking around for everyone else's
Yeah.
reaction, like not really doing anything myself. So
Yeah,
fair enough.
but this ain't her first rodeo, man. She
No.
knows how this show
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, she knows what to do. If
That's
I,
hilarious.
yeah, this is on the
the
second
best.
text.
The best that's dicey. All right,
This is-
roll again.
Again? 11.
Oh, all right. Between Georgia and Lucinda, who is more your type?
Oh, Georgia.
Oh,
1,000,000%.
okay. That
But-
could be two ways.
Even
like
where you going in
physically?
physical?
Yeah.
Physical, Georgia.
Yeah. Okay.
Georgia was physically
Yeah.
like the best of my type
Yeah.
on the show, for sure.
But why were you attracted to Lucinda in the first place?
Fuck, she's got a pretty face.
Okay.
That's
She's
for sure.
gorgeous. All right.
Really
Yeah,
gorgeous
no, she's
face. Like good, like muscly build,
Personality.
I'd say
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
and her accent, I like the accent.
Yeah. I'm
like
a
the
sucker
accent.
for accents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You guys had quite a few, I found.
Yeah, a
this
lot of
season.
good few like British accents. I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. But yeah, Georgia 1,000,000%.
She's got a great ass, I have to
Crazy
say.
ass.
I know.
But me, I'm
Wow.
Stevie Wonder with that shit, boy. I ain't saying shit right now,
Got a
bro.
girlfriend now.
You know what I'm
see
saying?
nothing.
I got a girl, and
I
she's
see-
like, oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah, yeah.
And she be trying to test me too. She's like, oh my God, did you see that girl's ass? I was like, where?
No, where? Which one? I was looking at that.
I hope we
I
can
know what
plug
you're
this
talking
so
about.
we
Good
can see.
answer.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. I just want to ask real quick, like, what is your love life like now? Are you still looking for love? Have you found love? That includes if you're seeing someone.
Yeah. That's a good question. I'm like in this period where I'm just sort of still going with my feelings and emotions, trying to figure it out. I'm only really seeing one person at the moment.
Okay.
Oh.
But like it's not like fully like romantically or something like that. But I've only got like time for one person.
Exclusivity?
It's not, I wouldn't say exclusivity. She can do what she wants.
Yeah. But you're only kind of, seeing her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's beautiful. We like this girl. You know how to ask good questions, girl.
Thank you.
That's why we got the job. All right, beautiful, man. All right, let's get the next one.
5.
Have you come off the show with more or less followers than you thought?
Oh, definitely more than I thought.
Wait, how many do you have now?
I think I'm at like 40 something.
Oh, very good.
Wow.
40 something. Like honestly, like I had no clue how many followers you'd actually get from the show.
Yeah.
I think that during the show at one point I hit like 20, and I was like, oh hell yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, come on, boy.
That's
Famous.
awesome. And now I'm on like almost like route to 50K, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like I kind of don't really know what to do with it. I open up my Instagram and it's like always some action happening.
Yeah,
like
for real.
Yeah,
I can't even
yeah.
really keep up with it. It kind of gets a bit
Yeah.
overwhelming, so I just put it to the side sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely a lot more followers than I expected, and a lot of love. A lot of
So
love.
That's
cool.
beautiful,
I
man.
love
Yeah,
that.
That's
It's
what's
awesome.
up. We got time for one more.
All right, let's do it. 7.
Ooh, that's my number. It's interesting, huh? All right. What's the most crazy thing that happened in the villa that didn't air on the show?
Okay.
Yes!
Good question.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's a
talking
good
about.
one.
All right. I'd say that the biggest like actual confrontational fight that happened didn't make air.
Really?
Yeah,
Why
the
would they do
biggest
something
one.
like that?
The biggest one. So there was one moment where it was me versus Zach and Trent, like almost yelling match, to the point where we heard that security was on standby.
Jesus. Was
So
it after or
essentially-
before movie night? Sorry.
So this was before the first even dumping. This was during the first week.
What?
So I mean, after that whole thing with Zach and I happened,
Yep.
obviously there was like, you know, a bit of animosity between us,
Yes.
and you know, they'd be doing stuff, you know, I'd make some remarks, you know, and I'll admit there were some cheeky remarks or just kind of like, you know, sort of slight digs at these guys and
Yeah.
stuff. And you know, it was like this vice versa and stuff. And then
Yep.
there was one moment when Trent said something like, whenever I hear it, whether he's a friend or not or whatever,
Yep.
say something that I don't really mess with, I'll tell him straight to his face. Like,
Yeah.
dude, no, don't say that. So like at one point, Tyra was crying because she didn't know whether to choose Reed or Ben for that first recoupling. And she's been crying for like the last like hour or so. And then Trent just yells out like, you gonna make me cry, sweetheart. I was turning to him and I was like, dude, not the time, man. Like, just fucking like, just don't even need to really say anything like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, you always making remarks, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that was in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And I kind of just like left it and then waited for Trent to kind of be by himself. And I just
Yeah.
went up to him. I was like, dude, I don't know, like what's like, I was just saying this because of
Yeah.
this reason. I don't know, like, is there something going on between us right now that like, can
Yeah.
you bring it up? And then essentially, both him and Zach just went at me for like maybe like 10 minutes. And I was giving back to them like, they were saying like, you say all this stuff, you're doing all this stuff. And like, admittedly, the night before, I said something to Sav that I probably shouldn't have said. But
About Trent? Or
no, just about like I just told her to shut the F up.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It was right before bed. They were calling each other daddy and saying, I'm gonna touch myself thinking about you, all this type of stuff right before bed. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, please. I'm like, it's like 2 a.m. right now. Like, it's the last thing I want to be hearing. Anyway, so he was mad at me about that for talking to Sav like that. But I immediately went up to Sav and apologized to her that night. And then I went up to her again the next night saying,
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry for the way it came off.
Yeah.
You know, I was obviously just tired and shit, but like, you know, and I'm like, but to Trent, I was like, dude, if you got a problem, you can just tell me straight to my
Yeah.
face, blah, blah. Anyways, ended up being a huge yelling match. I ended up storming off when Zach said I had anger issues. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I've been trying to stay so calm right now.
Yeah.
So I storm off and then I hear them talking to Lucinda and Savannah down there. So Ollie's like come up trying to like say like to stay up here. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going right back down.
Yeah.
Went back down the steps. I was like, no, if you guys are going to say shit, you can just say it to my face.
Yeah.
And this is when everyone was around now. And like Lucinda comes up like, apparently you think I'm playing a game? I'm like, well, yeah, I think you're playing a game. I tell his face. I'm like, I can tell you exactly why. And then I'm telling her why. And then Zach's like saying all this stuff. And he's like, I reckon you're boring, man, all this shit. And I was just like, fuck. And then like the whole thing with Savannah, I was like, at this point, everyone was around the fire pit. And then at this point, like, Zach said some shit like, about the thing I said to Savannah the night before. I was like, dude, everyone is annoyed about how you guys are just speaking around each other. And then Zach just tries to, he's like, who else is annoyed? Like looks around, who else was
my
annoyed?
gosh.
And I'm like, as if people like you don't need to bring anyone else
Yeah,
into
yeah.
this
Yeah.
anyways. Tia ended up sticking up for me at that point and said that she was annoyed, which was huge.
Yeah.
But then
but yes.
then Zach just continues just like sort of like trying to put me down and stuff and try to turn everyone against me and shit. It was literally Zach, Trent, Savannah, and Lucinda
Yes.
against me for like 10 minutes.
Wow.
Good bit of yelling. Like, but I feel like I didn't raise my voice at all.
Crazy.
But yeah,
I
that
just
did- I
love
didn't
that
make it.
about you though.
That's
but
what's up.
on and off camera, we just saw that. Like you just kept your composure. You
Yeah.
were just so good the whole time.
Yeah.
I felt like half the time you were the only one that had like morals
Absolutely, man. We love
amongst
to
the
see that.
boys.
Yeah.
You
I
and
don't know.
Kale.
It depends. Yeah, Kale was good.
Yeah.
Aiden was pretty good. Ollie,
Yeah,
Ollie
yeah.
was my guy. Andy was a good guy.
Yes.
That's what's
Ben,
yes.
Ben was a good guy.
And he left so early
Yeah,
though.
yeah, I know.
Legend.
His time was
I was so
cut short.
upset when Ollie left.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'd say that was the biggest one.
Yeah.
Biggest thing that didn't make air. And like it was definitely a lot bigger than what I even described it as. It was an intense moment. Like I shed some tears after that one for sure.
Wow, man. Oh my God. Well, I can imagine how that feels like, man, because like the worst thing is, you ain't gonna go anywhere for a little bit.
Go anywhere.
know.
So it's like you have to tolerate these little
Yeah,
assholes.
100%.
Yeah.
Went to the beach, I spoke about it. The only thing you want to do in moments like that is you want to call your family, you want to call your friends.
Exactly, boy.
And then I end the beach hut and I'm just opening up the door to go right back out into that shit for another night
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness,
or
man.
longer. Fuck. And then Ollie left that night as well.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Fuck. So like, oh, fuck, that sucked.
You know what, man? I feel like in life, right, it's actually so crazy how we always in a stage of testing. No matter if you're not conscious about it, your personality is always being sharpened for something that you don't know about in the next phase of your life. You know what I'm saying? Because I was watching all that, like, and even like, between you and Zach, and I was like, I could tell you was mad. You
Yeah.
were very mad, but for a man to be able to keep that composed
Yes.
after you talking shit to somebody like that,
Yes.
just to get a leading edge over me,
Yeah.
like as much as I want to let you have it, it's like I know that I want to be congruent to the person that I want to be,
Yeah.
and me shouting at you right now won't help that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, bro, like this is amazing, man. Like it's
Yes.
actually great
Appreciate
meeting you because like now we know that you weren't playing the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
No,
man,
I
this
couldn't do
means
that,
this
man.
means a lot, man. Thanks so much for making the time to come through,
Nah,
bro.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I love this show and stuff. And you guys speak really well. So.
We love the show.
I know. I know. At the chicken shop when he was like, because I was like, oh, hi, I'm Selina. I have a podcast with Taku. And he was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was like, I
wait,
know,
does he actually
I know.
know who
Yeah,
we
no,
are?
I do know.
Bruh.
I do
I'm
know.
like, is he just
I mean,
being polite?
another brother on the previous season. I had
Yeah.
to do a bit of research, anyways.
That's
Before
why I did
before
that
I
shit.
went on, I was literally just looking at the previous black guys from previous seasons to know kind of how am I going to be portrayed, how's it going to go for me after, like what's the
Yes.
like, because that's the only like sort of similarity that I can see from previous
Bruh,
seasons.
man.
So
That's
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
man. That's what's up.
But
Hey,
it's about time we've got more diversity on the screens.
most
and
definitely,
everything.
man. Most definitely. Hey, man, thank you so much for coming. Guys, thanks so much for listening. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next time.
And a big happy birthday to Nate.
yes,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
tomorrow,
Woo!
25th Jan.
Yay!
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Thank you.